We got it now.
There you go. You got it now.
All right. All right. And I want my other screen to have your little faces. There you go. Okay. So ChatGPT, I'm going to tell you the greatest thing about it. First of all, who has a ChatGPT account right now? Oh, okay. Some early adopters. That's good. Okay. So I'm going to tell you the best feature about it. The best feature is that agents are very interested in it. So I have an agent seminar that I sent out an email to a bunch of agents, a broadcast list. I have 96 agents who have registered for my online seminar. I'm usually lucky to get about 6 or 7 to show up to anything. So they have an appetite. So I want you to, when we go through this, to have 2 hats on. One of them is going to be, how can I use it to help my business? But the other hat is, how can I teach this to real estate agents so that they think that I'm terrific? Okay. So artificial intelligence is the ability of a computer to do tasks that are usually done by humans because they require human intelligence and discernment. And we're going to get into that a little bit later. So loan officers will not be replaced by AI, but the LOs not using AI will be replaced by the ones who do. And you can just take that phrase and put real estate agents in there, and it means the same. Okay, so what's going on with this crazy thing? Why is it like here now so quickly? Well, first of all, it took only 5 days for ChatGPT to get 1 million subscribers and 100 million subscribers within the first 60 days. To put it in perspective, Instagram took 75 days to get 1 million subscribers. So it's grown at a pace that's over 100 times faster than Instagram, which is one of the most successful platforms. So they're constantly evolving. It came out with just the first version, then the Plus, the 3.5, and now they have ChatGPT 4, and that is like 25 times more advanced than we had like on Thursday. You know, I mean, it's just crazy how fast it's growing. Here's what Gary Vee says.
Using AI tools every day of your life, you're making a huge mistake. You've got to start training. Whether you need it or not is irrelevant. You're going to need it, and you're going to interact with it every day. So the faster you're good at it, remember when you met executives 20 years ago, 10 years ago, that still don't even use email, and they have their like secretary print out the email, like when it felt so weird? That's how not using AI will feel. If you are not...
True. All right. So, okay, so here's some of the capabilities and some of the limitations. Unlike a search engine like Google, where every search needs to start from scratch, ChatGPT can take follow-up instructions. You can also dictate the tone or length of the results. In other words, you could say, write me a 300-word email in a positive tone regarding rates going up, and it will do it. So the difference, people always ask, like, can't you just Google it? Well, if you Google, like, you know, how to change the oil in your, 2017 Mustang, you're going to get a bunch of sites that are videos on how to change oil, maybe a video from Ford Motor Company, maybe a video from the Mustang Club, whatever. Okay, ChatGPT is just going to tell you how to change the oil. So it's a much different technology. Okay, the limitations we have now are that if you don't put in a proper command, you could get, erroneous results, garbage in, garbage out, which we always have with computers, but they are rapidly trying to capture like all the information on the internet. So it's taking them a while to catch up. Right now, the information is about 12 to 24 months old. So it wouldn't be good to ask it to give you an update on mortgage rates because it may quote rates in the 3% from 24 months ago. Okay, how can ChatGPT help your business? One, we mentioned email marketing. It can write custom emails, and we're going to look at an example in a minute. it can tell you the advantage over the competition. And we're going to look at something that's really cool in just a minute. Social media posts. So I use it now. I do videos on Instagram and I have ChatGPT write my description because it's going to have the keywords. It's going to SEO it. It's going to have the hashtags. And I'm basically just proofing it so that nothing is weird, copy and paste it. And then I can also have it write a contextual description for each platform. So I can have it do one on LinkedIn. It's going to be more business oriented. Instagram, it's going to have the little emojis. It knows. Prospecting scripts can help you. Maybe you're nervous about calling a particular customer. You can put a little information. It can give you a script on how to talk to them. Business plans will actually make a whole marketing calendar or any kind of business proposal. It'll put it in a PowerPoint. It'll put it in an Excel spreadsheet. It'll tell you how to do it. It's really amazing. And the big one here, gain realtor interest. Realtors are dying to learn this technology. See? Okay. So how can it help me with social media content? So I know we're all trying to get as much content. We're doing the videos, we're doing the post, but of course, sometimes you're racking your brain. What can I come up with today? I already talked about the snow in Michigan yesterday. So what's new today? So, okay, ChatGPT can effectively help you with your content calendar. It can write a description, like we already discussed. It can write a link. You could have it do something like a LinkedIn post about an over-the-top service that you gave a client. It can give you all kind of ideas on Facebook. You can have it write jokes about the mortgage business. Some of them are not too funny. You can have it write a 600-word blog post about the 5 best reasons to move to your city. It's really, for real estate agents, this presentation is a little bit different, and the things it can do for home buyers is really incredible. And it can provide you a list of the most searched topics. So you can say, what are the hottest topics, or what are the most searched topics for first-time home buyers, and then it can give you a list of some great ideas. Okay, prompts. This is the command that you give it. This is what you put in the search box, and this is the most important part. So the prompt can be a short little phrase, or it can be a long description, and you'll get better and better at this part. But this is kind of the most challenging part. So be specific, provide as much detail as possible about the topic or question that you want ChatGPT to respond to. This will help ChatGPT understand your content and generate more relevant results. Be open-ended. Don't ask it yes or no questions. That's not going to help you. Encourage ChatGPT to provide details and informative responses. You can ask it for data and sources of that data to really make your blog post effective. So the prompt should have these 4 components. It should have a persona. It should have some sort of parameters or constraints, a goal, and a format. And I'm going to show you how this is done. So here's a basic prompt. Write about how to house train a dog. But a better prompt would be, as a professional dog trainer, write an email to a client who has a 3-month-old corgi about the activities you should do to house train their puppy. So Mark Ramos, I see you looking there. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay, so what is the persona there on the better prompt? So your
go ahead. It's something personal with the person.
Well, no. So as a professional dog trainer, so that's the persona you're taking on,
right?
As a professional dog trainer, okay. And then what? And then John Jones. So give me some. Give me what's the parameter, the constraint on that one?
Three-month-old dog.
Exactly. We're dealing with a 3-month-old dog. Okay. And then what, Diana, what's the goal? What are we trying to do?
Let's see, what are we trying to do?
House train the puppy. Let's
House
go,
train the
guys.
We're
puppy.
trying to house
Yes.
train the puppy. We're trying to house train the puppy. And then lastly, John's my star student today. What's the format that we want?
Email.
Write in email. Who said that? A for the day.
Me, I'm paying attention.
Okay. So there you go. So we got all four things in that one sentence. There he is. Yay. Okay. So how about this? Write a Facebook post, and I just copied and pasted this about a painful lesson when trying to get a mortgage to buy a house that ended in success. So after a long and challenging journey, I finally closed on my dream home, blah, 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 from multiple rejections to navigating complex lending policies and dealing with unexpected obstacles. It was a roller coaster. And then I also discovered the value of working with a knowledgeable and trustworthy lender who guided me through the process and helped me understand the ins and outs of the mortgage industry. Now, as I sit in my living room, I can truly say that the pain and frustration were worth it. My home is a symbol of all the hard work and sacrifices I made to achieve my dream. To anyone going through the home buying process, I encourage you to stay positive, stay persistent, never give up. The journey may be tough, but the reward at the end is priceless. Does that sound like something well written? Okay, this was done by a computer because I just said, write me a Facebook post about a painful lesson when trying to get a mortgage. So it's pretty amazing stuff. And then the bonus, it threw in the hashtags here to make it even easier. Okay, here's the way I use it. Here's a video I did on my Instagram. Write a description for an Instagram Reels post that touts the advantages of buying a house before you buy a new car. Write a lesson some of our borrowers should know, right? So it wrote this little description here. Discover the hidden pitfalls of buying a new car while trying to get approved for a home mortgage. In just a few moments, we'll reveal the impact of a new car purchase on credit scores and mortgage eligibility, the crucial role of debt to income ratios. It's really hyping this video up, right? And don't let the new car drive your homeownership dreams off course. Learn the do's and don'ts of managing your finances and making smart decisions on your road to success. Stay tuned for more reels. And it's got these hashtags. So why did it pick these hashtags? I don't know, but it's smarter than me. And why did it put these little emojis here, which I probably wouldn't have done myself? I don't know. It must be some benefit. So I kind of trust the system, and I got, 3,000 or 4,000 views. So it works pretty well. The main thing is that this used to take me, 15 to 20 minutes, and now it takes like 60 seconds. Who thinks that's cool? Okay.
I do.
Hey, look at this. Just impromptu. Follow me on Instagram at @Cats Mortgage Team. There's a bonus. Okay, so how about this? Give me 5 reasons why getting a mortgage through VanDyk Mortgage Corporation is better than Rocket Mortgage. Now, it's not going to trash companies. It's one of its parameters. It doesn't talk bad. We can do that. But this is amazing. So it came up with these 5 reasons: personalized service, local expertise. We do a great job with FHA and VA loans, community involvement, and competitive rates and fees. Now, how many people out there think that these are truly 5 good reasons that somebody should do business with VanDyk Mortgage better than Rocket Mortgage? I mean, it's like on the money. How does it know? How does it even know VanDyk Mortgage? But it does know. It knows everything that's out on the internet. That's why it's so scary. And we all saw the Terminator, right? But anyway, until we get to Judgment Day, we're going to use it to help us get some business. So what a time saver. And I know that us loan officers, we can rattle this stuff off in our head. But maybe you're going into a meeting, you're a little nervous, and you just want some backup data. Like, hey, maybe I didn't think of something, and what's some bullet points I could talk to this agent? You run this, and then, it kind of gives you more ammunition and maybe some things you didn't think about. Okay, we're going to do some real examples now because this is where the fun starts.
That was a pretty good list there. I think Tim Hart might have been able to add a couple more on the bottom.
I'm sure he could. Tim's one of my heroes.
I mean, Stephen, this is incredible to write property descriptions for realtors, for sure.
All right. Can you see that screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so we talked about the 4 components: persona, your parameters of what you're asking it, and then the goal, what you're trying to accomplish, and then the format. Do you want an essay? Do you want an email? Do you want a blog post? What do you want? If you don't tell it, it will just decide for you, but your results may not be like right on the bullseye. So let's do something that's not mortgage related, just to give you a little bit of an eye opener. So my wife decided that she wants to go back to Cancun, Mexico. Has anybody been to Cancun? It's nice. So I asked it to plan out a 4-day vacation for a couple from Atlanta, Georgia to Cancun, Mexico. And you saw how long it took. It took about a second. And here we have an itinerary. Here's a possible itinerary of everything from catching the plane, spending the afternoon, first day on the beach, then take a trip to Tulum to look at the Mayan city, go to some sort of museum, go to here. It tells us about local restaurants, take a day trip to Almayuras. So pretty cool, right? But we're like, hey, listen, what does all that stuff cost? So then we're going to say, let's redo this, showing the cost of each activity. So this is something you can't do with Google. So it immediately redoes it, and it tells me a flight's going to cost me $300 to $400. Hotels are this price range. You know, I mean, it's hard to answer a question like how much is a hotel room, right? That could be anything. But it gives me some idea of the cost of going to these various museums or whatever. Of course, the beach is free. And then it tells me, you know, its rough estimate and so forth, budget accordingly. Now, the thing is that every time you rerun it, you get something new. So it's like a human brain. Like if somebody were to ask you what it was like eating at a restaurant, and then somebody asks you in an hour, what was it like eating at that restaurant? Then you're going to tell the same story, but a little bit different, right? Because you're not going to use exactly the same words and sentences. Okay, but then my wife says, well, wait a minute, we got to have time for shopping. So then I say redo to include shopping. And now it tells me that when I'm over here in downtown, that there's some large shopping malls, and that when I go to see this museum, I should head over to the souvenir shop. And shopping in Valladolid, the town with small shops and handcrafted souvenirs, and it puts that parameter in there. So who thinks that that's pretty cool? Okay. Let's get back to some good old-fashioned business stuff. So, but I just wanted to see how you could add to your thing. So, okay. What about if you has anybody ever had, this is probably never happened to you guys, but has anybody ever had a borrower that didn't qualify? Just once, maybe? So how do you tell that real estate agent? That's the fun part, right? Calling the real estate agent or sending them an email. So what about if, as a mortgage loan officer, you write an email that kindly tells the real estate agent that her client does not qualify for a mortgage? So it puts it in email format. I hope this email finds you well regarding your mortgage application of your client. I understand that this news may be disappointing, but I want to assure you that we have carefully considered all aspects of the application and have come to the conclusion that they're deadbeats. No, that come to the conclusion that it is outside our lending guidelines and policies. However, I would like to emphasize that this decision does not reflect on the creditworthiness of your client or their ability to secure a loan in the future. If your client has any questions or concerns about the decision. So this is an email that I personally would labor over to try and get the word and the phrasings right so as not to offend anybody, not to avoid any privacy laws, but to basically tell them, hey, this guy isn't going to work out. So I read that and I said, you know what? I like it, but it never really thanked them for the referral in the first place. I mean, we got to thank them even if the borrowers don't qualify. So what about if we include that we appreciate the referral? So then it redoes it and it adds in there, before I conclude, I'd like to express my appreciation for the referral. We value the relationship we have with you, and we look forward to working with your clients in the future. So who thinks that this might be a time saver or just, a little bit less of a burden on your brain cells if you have to write an email like this?
Does it allow you to alter it?
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. So you just sweep here, copy and paste, and then, in fact, I urge you to proof this carefully because you may get some sort of weird phraseology, or they may use something that is not, it's not industry lingo that sounds a little awkward. So that's what you have to proof it to make sure that it does come across sincere. And, maybe this, maybe this is an agent that you work with all the time. So you could say, hey, write with a more casual tone. And it's going to do that. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Whoop, here it is down here. So, I know this may be a bummer for your clients. So that's a little bit more casual phraseology, but that may work.
Hey, this is awesome, Stephen. We have a request. Are you willing to share your PowerPoint presentation with the company?
I will.
You're a good man. Yeah, when we're done, folks, everybody on here, we will send a copy of Stephen's PowerPoint along with this recording, so you guys will have it to rewatch. This is impressive. I had no idea that there was so much capability. And if I can stop you real quick, Stephen, too. So say you're brand new, you don't have a ChatGPT account. Number one, is it all free?
Okay. I'm glad you asked, and then I want 5 more minutes.
All right.
Okay. So ChatGPT is free to sign up for. I urge everybody to have the account, play with it, just try a couple of different things and get familiar with it. There is a paid version that's $20 a month, but here's the thing. You get exactly the same technology. Okay. The only difference is right now they get so much traffic that if you don't have the paid version, it may say that the system is down for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I heard that in the early days of Twitter, it was kind of the same thing. It would go down because there's so much traffic on it right now that they're having trouble scaling the network up. But yeah, definitely do the free version unless you become a power user.
Okay. We got a
Anything
couple
in the
of
chat
follow-up
that's-
questions on that. So, okay, somebody shared ChatGPT OpenAI, so they can just go to the website there, get signed up. So the paid version is $20 a month, you said?
Yes,
Okay, great.
but it's the same technology. So there's really,
Gotcha.
there's not a big incentive to do the paid. Okay, so I just wanted to just to do a couple more because you're gonna see this with your agents, and I want you to be able to do this when you work with agents. Okay, so here's the thing right here. This is what you can show your agents. So they just got a new listing. As a seasoned real estate agent, so that's our voice, write a listing description. So that's our format. This is the address, that's the parameter. Okay. It says absolutely like it works for me. Welcome to your dream home at 335 Miss Florida Trace, truly highly sought after community in Alpharetta, Georgia. Step inside this stunning home. Now, they're going to need to proofread this because they're going to say, hey, wait a minute, there's a second fireplace I want to mention or whatever. You know, upstairs, the luxurious master suite with spa-like master bath and huge walk-in closet. Well, listen, for agents that are not good at writing stuff, this to them, they think you're a god. When I did this, their mouths like melted off their face, okay? Because they're like, this is going to save me so much time. And then, as we talked about changing the parameters, they're like, okay, that's great. But you know, Zillow only gives me 250 words. Okay, we'll just redo with Zillow and limit it to 250 words. Boom. Now it's good for Zillow. And if they needed a different format, maybe MLS only gives them 100 characters, it would shorten it up there. Now, are they going to be able to copy and paste this and run? Probably not. But is this going to give them some good phraseology? You know, grand foyer, soaring ceilings, all the romantic language that's going to make you want to buy that house. Do you think a real estate agent might like that?
We love it because after they get through the first 16 pages and come to the point where they've got to write a description, they're about done. You know, it'll definitely be awesome for them.
Okay, last one. I know I'm running out of time. Now you're like, hey, listen, I like to do all that social media thing. You know, I'm on it. You know, I have a loan officer who's been talking about making videos for the past 3 years. I won't mention her name. And it's like, she's getting ready to get ready all the time. And I know it's a big thing to jump into if you're not familiar with it. But what if I do this for you? What if I say, hey, John, what if we do, as a mortgage professional, we design a 30-day marketing calendar to do personal videos on personal finance videos on Instagram. And it tells you every single day to do a video and what that video is about. And it's going real fast, but it's telling you, okay, how about post a video discussing the cost involving buying a home, such as closing cost, the importance of saving for the down payment, the current state of real estate market, benefits of refinancing if rates are lower, you know, the role of a mortgage broker, the benefits of using different types of mortgage insurance. It gives you these ideas for videos all the way through the month. And you know what? I don't even like half of them, but you know what? I like half of them. So there you go. It's a big time saver.
What did you type at the beginning of that, Stephen?
I put as a mortgage professional, because you want to give it your voice, and then you want to say, you know, your parameters, design a 30-day marketing calendar, and for personal finance videos on Instagram. So and there's the format, is it's going to give you the ideas for videos. And it just gave me a 30-day marketing plan.
Awesome.
And then you're like, well, listen, that's all well and good, but I'm doing stuff outside of the social media world. And you say, okay, well, what if we do this? What if we include some offline support marketing? This will make Shannon happy because it's the whole marketing picture, both online and offline. And it gives you some ideas. Partner with a realtor It's going so fast, I can't read it. Partner with a local business, partner with a local business such as a real estate law firm. Host a client appreciation event, send a personalized thank you note. And it gives you offline items that are going to help supplement your online. And that's all I got. Have I blown your mind?
Steven, real quick, how many minutes do you have or hours plugged into trying to mess around with this stuff? Guys, I think the message is you need to start doing this today, not next week, next month. Get after it today.
So very quickly, you start getting better at doing the prompts. So that's your only role, is the little sentence you type in the box. Right. So you try it. So I suggest try it on some things that are not necessarily just business related, and you'll start to see, oh, I need to mention, oh, it's given me a 12-page document and I only want 1 page. So that's where you remember, I got to put the format in to say 1 page. And then it's telling me, but it's not really telling me like an expert. So then you would say, okay, well, what would an auto mechanic say? So you put that voice in, that parameter, you know, and then with emails, you can say, oh, well, that's exactly correct, but that language is too firm. So then you can say redo in a friendlier tone. I mean, you can have fun. You could say, I did one example is I said, you know, doing the voice of Jerry Seinfeld. So then it says, what's with all this paperwork? You know, and it's got jokes in there. So, I mean, it's really amazing.
This really is amazing, Stephen. Thanks so much for sharing this. So once again, persona, parameters, goal, format were the 4 big ones, right?
Yeah, and if you leave something out, then basically it just wings it. It just does it for you, but you're not going to know, you know, it might give you 3 sentences, it might give you 3 pages, or it might be, you know, too firm in the language. It just depending on what you know, or, you know, if you put just a social media post, it's going to do something more whimsical for TikTok and more if you don't tell it, and you may be wanting something more business-like for LinkedIn. So that's why you want to tell it those details.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, this is awesome. We're getting a lot of good comments. Thank yous over here in the chat, Stephen. Great job. You know, we are a little long, but I think this is, you know, important. I think everyone's really interested. Do we have any questions? Does anybody want to fire away? Have any questions for Stephen before we wrap up? Go ahead and unmute yourself and fire away if you have any.
Hey, Stephen. So on social media, you're in charge of your own campaigns and posting. So you're basically editing prior to posting anything. It doesn't get in direct correspondence with anybody in social media, right? I'm just thinking for compliance purposes.
So that's out of my scope. That's how I'm going to answer that.
That's fair.
I can't give you advice on compliance.
That's
Sorry.
a good question, though, Kevin. I think it's something that we may have to consider. You know, if you're having ChatGPT write everything, does compliance need to review it? Is that kind of what you're getting at there?
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. But it's, I don't mind them reviewing everything, but you're going to be throwing a lot of content at them if you're really kicking off with this thing. But I'm just making sure that it doesn't get in any
Kevin, I think Steven's proofing everything before it posts.
Absolutely. Don't just copy and paste.
Okay, so that solves that.
So
they're not posting for Steven. No, absolutely not.
It's just a writing software.
Right.
So learn the compliance rules, make sure that you don't violate them yourself. And, you know, a lot of my posts are just what I call mom advice, right? Save your money for a rainy day. Don't spend too much. Don't finance a new car before you buy a house. I give mom advice that's not really open to compliance. I'm not giving interest rates or terms of loans or that kind of stuff. So, you know, that's the kind of stuff I do.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, why don't we go ahead and wrap this up? Stephen, thank you again. You know, guys, if you are creating content out there on any one of these social platforms, yeah, highly would recommend getting involved. Mario, you got something.
What would, this one, I'm going to make sure I heard the cost again is right. How much was it?
Free.
Free. Free's for me, Mario, right now, right?
Okay.
Something in this world is free. You can get signed up, Mario. Jeff Starton put the website there in the chat on the right-hand side, chat.openai.com. Go ahead and get signed up, guys. Let's start using it. Stephen, thanks again. We will get the recording of this meeting out to you guys along with Stephen's presentation, which he's going to be willing to share. So, yeah, guys, really appreciate everyone being here, and we will see you next month on the May Iron Sharpens Iron. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thanks, Stephen.
You got it. Thanks, Stephen.
Thanks, Joe.
Well done. Good job, Joe, John.